Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here with a screenwriter's rant on the space between. Kellsey Grammar is back, believe it or not. I didn't even recognize him in this role until they came to the credits. I was like, Kellsey Grammar? Wait a minute, Frasier? So I've been kind of waiting for a movie like this or a project like this where Kellsey Grammer tries to reinvent himself. He sort of, did with his movie career in as an X-Men, but that didn't go anywhere because they kind of torpedoed that X-Men movie, I think. But in this movie, he plays like an ex-70s rocker who the agency's trying to drop him, or the record label's trying to drop him, and he needs to sign a contract, and he won't do it. And he's crazy. See, that's Frasier, everybody. That's Frasier. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like Frasier. So it's about a guy. He's washed up, but he's redeeming himself. And here's a funny scene where he drugs this guy, and then he's a minor record executive. He's got to get him to sign this contract. Here he is on drugs, smashing his car. This is an old guy I know from my college days. He was in college the year after I left, but he was on the same TV show. What the hell's his name? I don't even remember his name now, but he's in the movie too. And see, he doesn't look anything like Frasier, and he talks differently than Frasier. He's not talking in a highfalutin accent anymore. So the premise is he's washed up, and they want to get rid of him, and he still has something to give, and eventually they pressure him into, I don't know, making a new album. And he does, and sort of redeems himself. At the same time, this kid learns how to live life and falls in love with, I don't know, his daughter or niece or something. And it's a big drama, so the space in between. That's what he calls music, the space in between. So, first act, it's the record executive, young record executive. The old guy tells him, go get him to sign this contract. We got to get rid of this loser. He's a nutbag. He goes there, and Kellsey drugs him, I guess, and he can't get him to sign. He thinks he signed, even though he's drugged, and he didn't. Then he gets in big trouble, and, they're going to sue him, I guess, or whatever, and, Kellsey doesn't care. He came from nothing. He didn't care about the money. But he's a crazy artist, and they need to get him to sign. He won't sign. Then he meets his daughter or his niece or something, and starts to get interested in her. And then in the second act, they kind of hit it off, and then he realized, well, maybe he's not such a bad guy, and maybe he could revive his career if I help him. And then, the older exec sort of reluctantly agrees. Well, if he puts out an actual song as opposed to he sends over a 10-minute track of him, opening and closing a refrigerator. But he's afraid. He's afraid to play again. He's afraid to, he's sort of lost the touch, and so now he's got to regain that. And the kid helps him, and at first it's all about the money, but then it becomes about the girl, and he becomes friends with them. And then in the third act, will Kellsey come through, and actually will his genius shine, or is he washed up? And in the end, he comes through with something, and everybody's happy. The end. And the kid learns to live life, and Kellsey learns that maybe he's not totally washed up, and everybody learns an important lesson. The space in between. Let's see. Written by Will Aldis, directed by Rachel Winter. Not based on any book. Kellsey Grammar. Crazy that he is the main guy, but he's a talented guy. I've been waiting, though, for a movie like this where Kellsey kind of makes that transition into something other than Frasier. And he did have to wait many years, and this is a perfect time. This is post-pandemic. Frasier's way in the rear view. So, this is a chance for him to have a real movie career, and he deserves it. He deserves it. He's a good actor. I don't think this is a great role for him, necessarily. I don't know if I buy him in that role. I'd have to see the movie. It looks okay. Not particularly interested in it. Are you? Yeah. Um, but I don't know. If I heard, reviews of the movie were good, maybe I'd go see it. But I don't really associate him with music. It's not a drama I feel like I need to see. It doesn't feel like it's about something important. But that all being said, it looks solid. It looks well produced, well acted. I think it could do a lot worse than the space in between coming to theaters. Is there a date here? Oh, April 23rd in theaters, on digital and on demand, June 15th. Wow, they're announcing the on demand now, too. Interesting. That's a lot cheaper on demand. Usually you get it for, if you go to the theaters, right, you're going to pay $10, $12 at least. If you wait for it to be on demand, you and your date can see it for probably 20, probably maybe less, depending on which on-demand service it's on. If it's on, for me, for Amazon, I could just see it. I'm already paying for it. So, interesting. The space in between.